Guardian of Shialkodi, Protector of the Realm Episode 2. The Wolf's Pact and Shadows of the Past and the Gathering Story. The battle against Zorath had left Aryaman weary but resolute. He had felt the touch of divine power within him, and with it, a sense of duty that transcended his own existence. The forest, now eerily silent, bore witness to his first significant victory, but Aryaman knew that darker challenges lay ahead. Weeks passed, and the tales of Aryaman's triumph spread across the realm, inspiring hope among the oppressed and fear among the wicked. However, Aryaman remained vigilant, knowing that Zorath was merely a harbinger of the greater evil that lurked in the shadows. One evening, as Aryaman made his way through a desolate village ravaged by dark forces, he encountered an old hermit who spoke of a hidden power that could aid him in his quest. The hermit spoke in riddles, but Aryaman's keen mind unraveled the cryptic message, leading him to the ancient cavern of echoes, where it was said the spirit of the guardian wolf resided. The cavern, shrouded in mystic fog, emanated an aura of ancient magic. Aryaman ventured deeper, guided by the faint glow of bioluminescent fungi that lined the cavern walls. The air grew colder, and the whispers of long-forgotten spirits echoed through the labyrinthine passages. Finally, he reached a vast chamber where the spirit of the she-wolf, Kalaratri, awaited. Her form was ethereal, eyes glowing with an otherworldly light as she gazed upon Aryaman with a mixture of curiosity and ancient wisdom. "Why have you come, mortal?" her voice echoed, both powerful and serene. Aryaman bowed respectfully. "Great Spirit, I seek your aid to protect our realm from the darkness that threatens to consume it." Kalaratri studied him for a moment, sensing the purity of his intentions and the burden of his destiny. "To forge a bond with me, you must prove your worth and your willingness to embrace both the light and the darkness within you." Without warning, Kalaratri lunged at Aryaman, her spectral form becoming solid as she tested his strength and resolve. The battle was fierce, but Aryaman fought with unwavering determination, his every move a testament to his courage and skill. Despite the ferocity of the confrontation, he held back from delivering a fatal blow, showing respect and understanding for the spirit's test. Satisfied, Kalaratri stepped back, her form returning to its ethereal state. "You have proven your worth, Aryaman. I shall lend you my strength, but know that our bond is not one of master and servant. We are equals, partners in this fight against the encroaching darkness." With a nod of agreement, Aryaman and Kalaratri performed the ancient ritual of binding. As their essences intertwined, Aryaman felt a surge of power unlike anything he had ever known. The spirit of the wolf now coursed through his veins, granting him heightened senses, agility, and the ability to communicate with Kalaratri in times of need. The bond forged, Aryaman emerged from the cavern, a renewed sense of purpose driving him forward. Yet, as he ventured back into the world, he couldn't shake the feeling that his journey was about to become even more perilous. One night, as he camped under the starlit sky, Kalaratri appeared beside him in her spectral form. "There is a village nearby under siege by dark forces. We must move swiftly." With Kalaratri guiding him, Aryaman raced through the night, reaching the besieged village at dawn. The sight that greeted him was one of chaos and despair, but Aryaman's presence, now bolstered by the spirit wolf, ignited a spark of hope among the villagers. Together, Aryaman and Kalaratri fought with a synergy that seemed almost preternatural. The dark forces, caught off guard by the ferocity of the combined might, began to falter. As the last of the invaders fell, the villagers gathered around Aryaman, the gratitude palpable. However, amidst the joy of victory, Aryaman caught sight of a familiar face in the crowd, a woman from his past, his first love, Ananya. Their eyes met, and for a moment, time seemed to stand still. Ananya approached, her voice trembling with emotion. Aryaman, is it truly you? It is, Ananya, Aryaman replied, his heart conflicted by the resurfacing feelings and the weight of his duty. As the villagers celebrated the newfound safety, Aryaman and Ananya found a quiet moment to talk. She spoke of the hardships they had endured and the hope his return brought to them all. Despite the joy of their reunion, Aryaman knew that his path was fraught with danger. With Kalaratri by his side and Ananya in his heart, he vowed to continue his quest to protect Shialkodi. But deep down, he also understood that his journey would test not just his strength, but his very soul. Answer, Aryaman's story continued, a tale of love, sacrifice, and an unyielding battle against the darkness that sought to consume his world. The dawn after the battle in the besieged village brought with it a bittersweet tranquility. Aryaman, now with Kalaratri's spirit intertwined with his own, felt a deeper connection to the world around him. The villagers, grateful for the deliverance, offered Aryaman and Ananya a place to rest and recuperate. As the sun rose higher, Aryaman took a moment to reflect on the journey that lay ahead. His reunion with Ananya had stirred old emotions, and while their bond had never truly broken, the years apart had created a chasm filled with untold stories and unspoken words. Ananya approached him, her eyes filled with a mixture of hope and apprehension. Aryaman, it feels like a lifetime since we last saw each other. So much has changed, and yet, seeing you again, it's like nothing ever did. Aryaman nodded, his gaze distant. Our paths have led us through different trials, Ananya. But our bond remains. I have a duty to protect this realm, and now, with Kalaratri's power, I feel a renewed strength. But I fear the darkness is only beginning to reveal itself. Before Ananya could respond, Kalaratri's spectral form appeared beside them. Aryaman, there is a disturbance in the nearby forest. The shadows are moving, and I sense a powerful dark presence. We must investigate. Without hesitation, Aryaman and Ananya set off, Kalaratri guiding them through the dense underbrush. As they ventured deeper, the air grew colder, and an unnatural silence enveloped the forest. Aryaman's heightened senses detected faint whispers, as if the trees themselves were warning of the impending danger. They reached a clearing where the remnants of an ancient temple stood, its once majestic structure now overrun by vines and decay. The ground around it was scorched, as if a great battle had taken place there long ago. At the center of the clearing stood a figure cloaked in darkness, its presence exuding malevolence. Aryaman, we meet at last, the figure hissed, its voice like nails on a chalkboard. I am Malakar, the harbinger of the abyss. Your interference has delayed our plans, but no longer. Aryaman drew his sword, the blade shimmering with divine light. I will not allow you to spread your darkness across this realm, Malakar. Leave now, or face the consequences. Malakar laughed, a chilling sound that echoed through the forest. You think a mere mortal, even one blessed by Shialkodi, can stand against the tide of darkness. Prepare to be consumed. With a wave of his hand, Malakar summoned a horde of shadowy creatures that surged forward, their eyes glowing with hatred. Aryaman and Ananya fought side by side, their movements synchronized and precise. Kalaratri, in her spectral form, weaved through the shadows, her ethereal claws rending the creatures to nothingness. Despite the combined efforts, Malakar's dark magic was overwhelming. Aryaman felt the weight of the darkness pressing in on him, threatening to snuff out his light. In a desperate bid to turn the tide, he called upon the full power of his bond with Kalaratri. Together, they unleashed a blinding surge of holy energy, pushing back the darkness and causing Malakar to recoil in pain. You have not won, Aryaman, Malakar snarled, retreating into the shadows. The darkness will rise, and when it does, Not even the Guardian of Shialkodi will be able to save this realm. As the last of the shadowy creatures dissipated, Aryaman fell to one knee, exhaustion washing over him. Ananya rushed to his side, her concern evident. "Are you all right?" "I will be," Aryaman replied, his voice strained. But Malakar's words haunt me. This was only a taste of the darkness to come. Kalaratri appeared beside them, her eyes filled with resolve. "We have won this battle, but the war is far from over. We must gather allies and prepare for the coming storm. The forces of darkness are rallying, and they will not rest until this realm is consumed." Ananya placed a reassuring hand on Aryaman's shoulder. "We will face whatever comes together. You are not alone in this fight, Aryaman." With renewed determination, Aryaman rose to his feet, the weight of his destiny heavy upon him but his resolve unshaken. The shadows of the past may have returned to haunt him, but with Kalaratri and Ananya by his side, he was ready to face the challenges ahead. Answer. The journey continued, each step bringing Aryaman closer to the ultimate confrontation with the darkness that sought to engulf Shialkodi. The path ahead was fraught with peril, but the guardian of the realm would not falter. For as long as there was light, there was hope, and as long as there was hope, Aryaman would fight to protect his world. The village bustled with renewed energy after Aryaman's victory over Malakar's forces. However, the shadow of the dark sorcerer's threat loomed large in Aryaman's mind. The battle had taken a toll, but it had also strengthened his resolve to protect Shialkodi from the encroaching darkness. Days turned into weeks as Aryaman, Ananya, and Kalaratri traveled across the realm, seeking out allies to stand against the rising tide of evil. The journey brought them to the ancient city of Vashkara, a place of legend where the greatest warriors of the realm were said to train. Vashkara's towering walls loomed ahead, and the trio approached with a sense of purpose. Aryaman had heard tales of the city's formidable defenders and hoped to enlist their aid in the coming conflict. As they neared the gates, a figure clad in golden armor stepped forward, his presence commanding and regal. "State your business," the warrior demanded, his voice echoing with authority. "I am Aryaman, Guardian of Shialkodi," Aryaman replied, his voice steady. "We seek an audience with the Council of Vashkara. The realm is in grave danger, and we need your help." The warrior's eyes narrowed as he studied Aryaman, Kalaratri, and Ananya. After a moment, he nodded and gestured for them to follow. "Very well. The council will hear your plea." Inside the grand hall of Vashkara, Aryaman and his companions stood before the council, a group of seasoned warriors and wise leaders. Aryaman recounted his encounters with Zorath and Malakar, the growing darkness, and the need for unity to combat the impending threat. The council listened intently, their expressions grave. When Aryaman finished, an elder with a long, white beard spoke. "Your tale is troubling, Aryaman. The darkness you describe is unlike anything we have faced in centuries. Vashkara will stand with you, but we must prepare. Our warriors will train alongside you, and our resources will be at your disposal." Gratitude swelled within Aryaman as he bowed deeply. "Thank you. Together, we can push back the darkness and protect our realm." For the next few weeks, Aryaman and his companions trained tirelessly with the warriors of Vashkara. They honed their skills, learned new strategies, and forged bonds of camaraderie that would prove invaluable in the battles to come. Kalaratri's spirit lent Aryaman an edge, her wisdom and strength augmenting his own. One evening, as Aryaman and Ananya sparred in the training grounds, the sky darkened unnaturally. The air grew thick with malevolent energy, and a sense of dread settled over Vashkara. The council members gathered quickly, their faces etched with concern. "It's Malakar," Aryaman said, his voice resolute. "He's come for us." A thunderous roar echoed through the city as Malakar's dark forces descended upon Vashkara. Shadows wreathed and twisted, forming grotesque creatures that advanced with relentless ferocity. Aryaman, Ananya, and the warriors of Vashkara sprang into action, their weapons gleaming in the fading light. The battle was fierce and chaotic, but Aryaman fought with unparalleled determination. Kalaratri's spectral form weaved through the battlefield, her claws rending the shadowy creatures asunder. Ananya's arrows flew true, striking down foes with deadly precision. Despite the valiant efforts, the tide of darkness seemed endless. Malakar's sinister laughter echoed through the city as he unleashed his dark magic, sowing fear and despair. Aryaman knew they had to find a way to break Malakar's hold or risk losing everything they had fought for. Amidst the chaos, Aryaman spotted Malakar atop a crumbling tower, his dark energy radiating like a beacon of evil. With a fierce determination, Aryaman and Kalaratri made their way through the fray, battling their way to the tower's base. As they ascended the crumbling steps, Aryaman felt the weight of his destiny pressing down on him. Every step was a struggle, but his resolve remained unshaken. Reaching the summit, Aryaman faced Malakar, their eyes locking in a battle of wills. "You cannot win, Aryaman," Malakar sneered, his voice dripping with contempt. "The darkness will consume you." "Not as long as there is light," Aryaman retorted, his blade gleaming with divine energy. "And I will never let that light fade." With a roar, Aryaman and Malakar clashed, their powers colliding in a cataclysmic display of light and darkness. The tower shook, debris raining down as the two forces struggled for dominance. Kalaratri joined the fray, her spectral form lending Aryaman strength and clarity. In a final, desperate gambit, Aryaman channeled all his energy into a single, devastating strike. His blade pierced through Malakar's defenses, and the dark sorcerer let out a howl of agony as the divine light consumed him. The shadows wreathed and twisted, then dissipated into nothingness. As the darkness faded, Aryaman stood victorious, his body trembling with exhaustion. Kalaratri's presence was a comforting warmth, her spirit a beacon of hope. The warriors of Vashkara, bloodied but unbowed, cheered in triumph as the last of Malakar's forces fled. The battle had been won, but Aryaman knew that the war was far from over. The darkness that threatened Shialkodi was vast and relentless, but with allies like the warriors of Vashkara and the spirit of Kalaratri by his side, Aryaman was ready to face whatever came next. Standing on the ruins of the tower, Aryaman looked out over the realm he had sworn to protect. The storm had only begun to gather, but as long as he drew breath, he would fight to ensure that Shialkodi remained a beacon of light in the encroaching darkness. The guardian of the realm would not falter, for his strength lay not just in his divine blessing, but in the unity and resolve of those who stood with him.